Welcome back to Restoration Passion. This is our PT-76, which is a 76mm Soviet amphibious tank. This is sort of a stopgap project for us, and it should be a relatively easy turnaround. This one's had quite a slew of issues that we've encountered. Quite a bit of rust. The radiator that we had, that's also in an exhaust system, it was completely rusted through. We've had to refabricate stuff in order to get the framework behind all of this. This is actually a boat as well as like a light armored vehicle, so it is supposed to be watertight, but we'll have to test that as well. So these are actually our brake shoes for the PT-76 transmission, which we currently have lying over here. This transmission was seized up, particularly on this side, and it took us about a week worth of just trying to get this off of here in order to unseize it, and we were successful in unseizing it. So it's all freed up and painted, and we're actually going to be putting it in today. So one of the issues that we've actually had with this tank was this is where the exhaust as well as the radiator is. The exhaust flowed under. However, after years of sitting, it was just completely corroded and rusted. You could pretty much poke your finger through basically this whole system here. So one of the things that we're having to redo is rebuild the framework for the radiator, and then we'll also be redirecting the exhaust to a slightly different location. We're waiting for parts for our engine out of Europe, which will go in the middle there, and then until there we're going to at least get the transmission in so that we can have that out of the way. So the engine that goes in the PT-76 is actually very similar to the T-62 and the T-55. It's more or less that engine, but just half of it, so it's actually just a 6-cylinder, and it's inline. So the gun and barrel, and as well as the breech block, are actually in very good condition on this tank, which is kind of a nice break for us. So very little work required in order to actually make this up and running, because it is live as it is. So this is the breech block as well, so it actually goes down and up versus side to side, like on some of the other Russian tanks. All the components and stuff are here, so all we have to do is some polish up and give it a little bit of tender loving care, and she should be ready in no time. So this is our V6 engine, which goes in our PT-76. The V kind of stands for V in Russian, however it doesn't actually imply that it is a V-shaped engine. It's actually an inline 6, as you'll see. So this engine shares a lot of similarities with the T-55 engine. It is an inline 6 version versus the V12 that the T-55 has. Some of those characteristics include similarities such as the placement of the water pump, its generator. The head of the engine itself is the same as the T-55, as well as the lower end. As with the T-55, this engine also has two methods of starting, the primary being air start and the secondary being electrical. A lot of people are familiar with air start as in you're sending air into like a starter. However, this engine sends air directly into the engine itself, which is this cluster of lines that you see right here. Unlike the T-55, the electric starter is placed in a different location. We are currently trying to source one from Europe, and our clutch is actually located on the engine itself versus the T-55, which is actually located on the transmission. And to wrap up the engine section of this video, as you can see, this is very similar to the T-55 because it is practically just a half of the T-55 engine, just in an inline version.
Might not be quite level, but let's see. Go ahead, pick it up. Yeah, that might work. Okay. Yeah, tilt back all the way. Alright, pick it up. Straight up. forward, slow. Like, let go of the bar. Your bottom is fucking good. Just get the pry bar. You got it out. The shoe should roll freely over that fucking drop.
Let me side shift real quick.
Right.
Alright, so the transmission is in, so that was the test for today, and Richie right now is making some final adjustments, and it will be ready to ride on for like tomorrow. You think?
Well, the transmission will be ready to go tomorrow.
I guess.
Yeah, this is the linkage for all the steering hubs and stuff like that. All goes through here. So.
There's Jose slaving away.
What's up, buddy?
Yep. Wow, this thing is looking brand new. Well, almost.
We'll get it there.
Yep.